What's up, bros and girls? It's RiceChrispy Yaps here. It's me, Chris, your host, and today we're going to be talking about the Wacom Intuos Bluetooth small model right here. I'll be talking about the features, the pros, the cons, who is this for, and most importantly, is it worth it? So let's get started. So let's go over what's in the box. It's got this nice, pretty box here. Wacom's pretty well known, it's pretty vetted. And yeah, you get the tablet here, you get the pen here, and the nice thing is that you get this textured paper surface. Also, you get this charging cable here. So that's all what's in the box. You also get 3 trials of different softwares, like let's see, you get Clip Studio Paint Pro. That one I actually use. That one I like a lot. And then Corel Aftershot and Corel Painter. I haven't used those 2 at all, and honestly I haven't used these software there, but it's there for you if you want to use it. And yeah, let's talk about this. It's all Bluetooth, connects to your computer, it runs on a battery, and the charge, at least for me, it lasts around 4 to 8 hours. I don't really know, but honestly when you plug it in, it's not really a big deal. It lasts pretty decent. I mean, this thing's insanely small. Look how thin that is. So yeah, you get these programmable buttons here. 4 buttons right here, on here. Put it on the top so while you're drawing here, it doesn't affect your drawing. And you get 2 more additional on the pen itself. So right there. And the pen here says 4,000 levels of pressure, and you definitely can feel it. You can put the pressure on here, and the texture on it is not. It doesn't feel like graphite, doesn't feel like paper. It doesn't feel like a pencil on paper. It feels more like marker on paper. If you ever use those felt tip markers, I love the Pigma Microns. And maybe just a tiny bit of a dip pen, because I've dabbled a little bit of dip pen here. But yeah, it's pretty good. The only downside is that the small one here is a 6-inch by 4-inch area, so it's pretty small. Here's my hand to scale. So so that's the features. Also, you get this cool container here. You get additional tips here. Sorry, you get 4 additional tips here. I already went through 1, and you can put your pen like this. Like that. It's for storage. Also, when you're working, it can rest right here. So you can walk away, go to the bathroom or something like that. Let's talk about the pros. So it's pretty cheap. Cheap for drawing tablets, at least. $79.95 might sound a lot, but for drawing tablets, this is pretty darn cheap, man. You can't beat the price. And the paper texture, like how I said earlier, it's pretty good. It gives you some resistance, gives you some tooth there. I've tried drawing on an iPad. I don't like how smooth it is, so this is a good alternative. I like it a lot. Another thing is, since it's a screenless tablet, it's unlikely to fail. There's just less moving parts. There's less sensors here. Also, there's no battery required for the pen. I forgot to say, this is not battery operated. It uses some type of other sensor. But yeah, it's unlikely to fail. And I've heard nightmare stories where I bought, or this person bought a $600, $800 tablet, and it just breaks. And they're doing a big animation project, and they gotta order a new one. And another thing is that it's portable. You could definitely put this in a bag, no problem. Those ones with screens, they're pretty big and bulky, and they have their own power supply. This literally is on Bluetooth, and you can use any mini USB cable to charge it. Another thing is ergonomic. So when you're working on it, you're not hunched over like this, doing this. You're not the Hunchback of Notre Dame, like, oh yeah, just gotta, oh, my neck. Who cares about my neck? I'm only gonna do this for 10 years. It doesn't matter, because you're looking at the screen here, and your pen's right here. So your neck is totally fine. You're not going to be a Hunchback of Notre Dame, hopefully. And if you have scoliosis, I doubt this will aggravate it. So It's very ergonomic. All right, so the cons are pretty steep. So me, I'm a traditional artist, and I really like just pen and paper, ready to go. And I grew up doing that. I accidentally turned it on. I'm turning it off right now. So it's a huge skill floor. And it took me, this is unlogged, this is just off the top of my head, around 100 hours to get to feel competent at it. If you're watching my YouTube channel right now, I've been doing these parody comics. I'll put some examples on the screen and you can literally see the progression on it. It wasn't until my Christmas special, Why the Grinch Didn't Steal Christmas, was when I felt decent. I felt like I can do something good on it. It took 100 hours of struggling and painful. Control Z and undo. It was very not fun and humiliating because I'm a pretty decent artist. Not to toot my own horn, okay? I'm a pretty good artist, and I just felt like I had to relearn again because the hand-eye coordination is very, very hard. So, yeah, that's a big con. But once you get past that, it's not too bad. So, I'm still getting used to it. And specifically for this size, the small size here, it's just too small for an adult like me. And I just can't do a nice straight line. This is a great size for kids. My hands are just too big. As you can see, it literally is almost the size of the tablet here. So for me to do like a nice big broad straight line like this on it, it is very hard for me. I wish it was bigger. The medium size would definitely be just the perfect size for me. But oftentimes I have to either zoom out really, really far from my digital canvas and just go, or zoom in really far in so that it's big enough for me to cover whatever I need to do. And I heard that's kind of a bad habit for digital art. I'm not quite sure. I'm still pretty new to this digital art thing. And one last thing is that sometimes the Bluetooth disconnects from my computer. I don't know if that's just specifically with this model right here. Maybe they improved it on the Pro model. But it doesn't happen often, but it happens enough for me to notice where the only reason for the Bluetooth to go off or to reconnect it is to completely shut it off and reboot it up. And sometimes that doesn't even work. Then if that doesn't work, I have to rewire it in, and then it resyncs after that. So, who is this for? I think this is great for beginner artists. Like if you're a kid in elementary school or middle school or high school, and you just want to dive deep in the digital art, this is great. This is a great start. It's great for kids. It's great for honestly anyone who wants to be a beginner in digital art. I would still consider myself a beginner in digital art. I still don't know how to paint digitally. I'm very traditional, and mostly because those are my teachers. My teachers ingrained the idea you have to master the traditional art before you go into digital. And maybe I waited too long, but it's never too late to start. And also, I think this is great for people who professionally edit photos. So if you're on Photoshop a lot and using your mouse right here is not the best for your wrist here. You know, your wrist health is important. Carpal tunnel is a thing. So being this as a tablet, this tablet here will solve it. It's like, hey man, stop risking carpal tunnel and get going on this tablet. I think this size would probably be good enough for people that just need to do quick photo touch-ups. Maybe if the size feels like too cramping, then you can go to a medium. You probably don't need a pro version since you're not illustrating or drawing. But this could up, hey, your photo editing game. I'm just saying. Could be you. So, is the Wacom Intuos Bluetooth worth it? I'd say yes, but only for those who can afford it. So this whole setup costs money. You're talking about digital art here. One, you have to spend money on the digital tablet. This is $80 rounded up. Two, you have to have a decent laptop or computer, which can run you like $400 to $1,000. And 3, you have to have a drawing program to make this useful. Okay, Microsoft Paint, probably not the best thing to do for digital art. I mean, you could do a lot. Okay, I've done some sick Dragon Ball Z art on Microsoft Paint that has gone into the oblivion. But you gotta spend money on this. The whole setup costs money, and there is a gatekeep to it. And this is only for those who really have disposable income. Like, I'm an adult now, and I can afford all this and be fine with it. But if you're a kid in middle school and high school, really depends on if your parents think if it's worth the money or not. Personally, when I was a kid, okay, I'm not a kid anymore. Who would have known? But when I was a kid, my parents would not spend any money for me on my art supplies. They always thought it was silly. It was just some little hobby that I didn't take serious. So they would never spend, even if it was like $20 on some pencils or charcoal or some good paper like Bristol board. No, like they would like maybe $10, $15 max. So asking my parents for something like this, $80 if I was a kid, definitely I wouldn't expect it. And I would need a laptop or computer to make use of it. It's not happening either. So I would have loved this as a kid for sure, but it's that price, man. And if you are a kid watching this, you might want to ask this for your birthday and really do say like this is what you want, okay? Don't settle for anything else. Birthday and Christmas, holidays, people will, if they care about you and you're really passionate and you show that you're interested, and maybe they're not my parents. So they're definitely not my parents unless I have a long lost sibling that I don't know of. They may buy it for you, Alright, so my final thoughts. I like the tablet. It's pretty good. I should have saved my first few sketches. They're pretty bad. They're like, who is this? It's like I'm in 3rd grade again, drawing on the whiteboard, and the teacher caught me when I wasn't supposed to be drawing. But yeah, I like it. I like digital. I'm trying to get more into digital. It's very efficient. I'm eventually going to be working on a comic of my own, and I've participated in a few manga contests, and I've all done it. It's only been 2. Unfortunately, I had to stop the other ones that I planned because I was too busy. And filling in those black areas, man, with ink and brush takes a long time. However, digital is like, don't worry, dog, I got you. Just click it, I'll fill. It saves you so much time. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Eventually, I want to get the Intuos Pro Medium. That has a big jump in price. That's around, I think, $300. I'll show it up on screen. But I want to get better at it. I want to get better at digital art. This here is just a good test drive for me. And if I hated it, for me at least, an adult, $80 on something that I was going to use anyways, it's not that bad. And if I hated it, I would have just gave it to my little cousins that love art. And I know they would like this. But yeah, I might get one with the screen, but probably not. I might try it with the screen, but just the ergonomics is, it just feels nice not to be hunched over, and straining my neck. But yeah, if you want a drawing tablet with a screen, I heard those are a lot easier to get used to. They're very low skill for, but it costs more and it's not as ergonomic. Also, it's more prone to failure because the screen might just give out on you. But don't let that stop you. If you're serious about digital art, I think this is a great starter, stepping stone to get this going. But yeah, I really like the tablet, and I really like how easy it is to clean up compared to analog tools. And that's my reviews and thoughts on the Wacom Intuos Bluetooth Small. Thanks for watching. You have a lovely day.